Hi, it's Lisa. Last year I did a series called Use It and Move It, which was to use some of my stamp sets up and move them out, get them sold. I've been doing the same thing this year, I just didn't share the stamp sets in advance. These are sets that I am ready to move out. They are going on my Etsy shop, and I wanted to do a card share video to show you some of the cards that I made with the sets and my use them one last time kind of approach. Some of the sets I just stamped a lot of images and haven't done a whole lot with them. This set is one that I had last year from, it's called Merry Mice. It was from Stampin' Up's holiday catalog last year, and I think it's just absolutely adorable set, and I made a lot of cute cards with it. I plan to make more because I have stamped a lot of these images, but I did make this one using a little bit of music paper that's also available on my Etsy shop, and some pretty Christmas paper as well. And I didn't go excessive with the coloring. I think the layout for this I found over on Split Coast Stamp or something very similar, so I kind of used that to design and then just inserted some of my own elements to it. I can't recall for sure. It's been a while. This is one of the first ones I made, but anyway, it's turned out to be a really cute card, and I made several of those. But Merry Mice has 7 sets with lots of mice in different arrangements here as a good set for those who like to color. Also, if you like to color, I have this cute little penguin stamp. I have 4 wood mount stamps that I'm just going to sell as a group. That will make the shipping easier. So I have the penguin. This is an Inka-Dinka-Doo stamp. This dove I have had for more than 10 years. This is one of the first stamps I ever bought, and I've used it quite a bit back then. Then this ornament, also Inka-Dinka-Doo, and the same for this one, and this makes really pretty cards. I used it this year with the Distress Oxide inks. Last year I used it with just regular Distress inks, and with the Distress Oxides I got better coloring and just stamped it with, I used like 3 different colors. Started maybe with the pink and the blue, and then added the purple in the middle to ink the stamp up. Pressed some ivory cardstock on top of it, and after it dried a little bit, then put some stickles on there, and that was it. And then just layered up the card. The cute little penguin, colored him and put him in. I already had some green cuts that were laying in my drawer for this garden green cardstock left over from something else, so just reused those. I cut whee on the silhouette and got a cute card there, so I have several of those. These will be cards that I'll use in card swaps this year. What I typically do is my new sets, when I get them, those are family and friends cards, my mom's cards, and then the next year I use them for my card swap cards. So I get 2 years worth of use out of them at least. This one is one I've had many more than 2 years. I've had this a long time. This is a Stampin' Up set called Serene Snowflakes that I assume is discontinued. I've had it so long. I kept it a long time because while some of these don't really look like snowflakes, like that does not look like a snowflake, and I have used it for a lot of other things. They're beautiful images, but I just wasn't using them enough to hang on to them. So here is one card. That one's a little crooked, but that I said, well, that was a lot crooked. I did some prettier ones than this one as an example, but you get the idea of what I did with those cards. Just some simple stamping on a background. I first did a background stamp and then added these, and I used one of the Distress Oxides. I think it was the Faded Jeans for this main image, and while that's wet you can put embossing powder on it. I used the Crystal Effects like embossing powder on there and heated it up, and you got this real pretty design for that snowflake, and then added again a few stickles. So that's a real pretty set. You can do a lot of things with it. This is from Hero Arts. I stamped a bunch of these to do some more cards, but I haven't made the cards yet. I have other examples, and I'll probably link to the Etsy post for this stamp set. I will clean this some. It's very black from all the black ink, but I will clean it up. The ink does not affect its ability to stamp. There is one issue with this set. This last snowflake down here, the one that's in there is not the one that came with it. I can't find the snowflake that came with it, and I had one that was really similar, so I stuck it in there. So this snowflake is not going to look quite like the one that's here, but everything else is still all the stamps that you should get with this set, and it makes some really pretty cards, again, for coloring. Another set for coloring I bought last year or year before. This is from Hampton Arts. Their set, I love their stamps because they stamp so beautifully with pretty much any kind of ink out there. I did a lot with the reindeer, I've done the tree, I've done the joy thing. It makes some really pretty cards, and I don't remember if I've stamped any extras of this one yet to color, but I need to before I put it up for sale, because I would like to use it just a little bit more maybe. This is a set that I don't want to use anymore, and it'll be probably very, very inexpensive out on Etsy. It's also missing a snowflake. I don't have a replacement for that one, but everything else is intact. So you'll find that one. This one I made a card. This is a religious set that I used for my mom's cards last year, I think. It is from Stampendous, and it has the nativity scene here, and it's really hard to see because the black print that's on the sheet they include with it came off, and it doesn't affect, again, the stamping ability, but it's hard to see what you have there. But you have Mary and Joseph and the baby and the star in this window kind of look, and I've used that, but I've used this image probably the most, and that's what I did on this super simple card. Stamped this with, I think, the crumb cake ink from Stampin' Up, put a little stickle there in the middle of that star, and then I stamped and embossed with gold embossing powder this greeting on the blue paper, tore the edge, put them together, and so fast and easy to do those cards. This little set, or this little stamp, called Naughty or Nice, if one of you is a cat lover, and whoever is the first one to leave me a comment that's a cat lover, I will be happy to mail this to you free. It's not an expensive thing. I'm not going to bother to list it and sell it. It's probably maybe worth $2 or something, but I will just give it to whatever cat lover contacts me first via the YouTube comments. So just leave a comment saying you're interested in it, and I'll get in touch with you, and we'll get addresses and stuff, and I'll stick it in the mail to you, because it is just an adorable little thing, and it needs a happy home. I've used it quite a bit. Another set for sale will be this set, which is not Christmassy necessarily. This is called Trendy Trees. I've had this from Stampin' Up for a long time. I have used it a lot for cards, for scrapbook pages, all kinds of things. It's one of those that I find myself tempted to keep, but I know I haven't used it probably 2 years until I did this card, so I know I'm just not going to use it enough, and it needs to find a good home. It does require two-step stamping. In other words, it requires the, what do you call that thing? Find it. This thing, the Stamp-A-Majig. It requires the Stamp-A-Majig to use this particular set, but I have included like my little template that I used. It might be helpful, might not, to create the tree, matching up the tree to its leaves. And there's a couple of good greetings in there, but I found this to be a really versatile set. It looks good for fall, but it looks good for any time of the year. I was trying to do a Four Seasons kind of look with this card, but I did end up using some fall paper with it. So Trendy Trees will be out there on my Etsy shop. The Etsy shop is called Lovely Layers Art. This, I think all of them are here. These are, letter stamps from American Crafts. I just don't use letter stamps all that much, but if you do, there's a cute set with lots and lots of letters. Another Hampton Art set, stamps beautifully, and I've used it a lot, are these cupcakes. So you can do some really cute cards with the cupcakes. So you'll put that set out there, and it's called Cupcakes. Another Stampin' Up. This is a background stamp, and the case was this discolored when I got it. I bought it used. It's called Canvas. And so if you like their background stamps, here is a good one available. So you'll find that on my Etsy shop. And one last set that I'm ready to sell right now is called Make It Count. This is from Stampin' Up. I guess I bought, no, this may have been a Hostess set. I'm sorry to say, I don't remember buying this, but I acquired it somewhere. I think maybe it was a Hostess set, or it could have been, I don't think it would have been Celebration because there's so many stamps in here. But somewhere along the way, I acquired this. I've used it for a lot of scrapbook pages. It has a lot of cute things that you can incorporate in your scrapbook pages, but I think I've probably used it all it's going to get. So I've used the word thanks quite a bit for cards as well. It's a good thanks greeting there. But it's time to find a happy home as well. So these stamp sets are going to be on my Etsy shop. I have some more identified. I'm just not quite ready to let go of them yet. But I hope you liked the cards, as we had quite a few fun cards here, some Christmassy ones and non-Christmassy ones that I have enjoyed doing. And I will get these listed. So by the time this video is posted, they will be on my Etsy shop. Remember, these 4 are going to go as part of a package, and then anything else can be individually purchased, and you'll see the shipping costs with them. I do ship to US, and I will ship international, but I would have to figure out what the shipping costs are for you. So you just have to let me know if you're international and you're interested in purchasing something. Thanks so much for watching.